Hey y'all, welcome to the Prepper Homestead Workshop. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about PPEs today. It's personal protective equipment. Now this is important now. As we're doing projects or working in our workshop, this stuff is important right now. Now take away the immense medical system that we currently live under. Right now in most of the United States where you're going to be working on something, if you have an accident or any kind of medical emergency, help is just a phone call away. Now you remove that, and where you have to treat your medical conditions yourself, that's going to be a lot harder on people. Now I see a whole lot of videos and things on your first aid kit and how to stock it, and that is, of course, very important. You cannot do this without proper medical supplies. But a lot of things can be avoided by just using the proper personal protective equipment. And that's some of the stuff here on this table. Your eyes, eye protection, face protection, that is probably going to be my number one, because eyes are hard to treat. And it's just been in recent times that we've really got to where we could do anything with eyes. So that's not, you're not going to be able to save an eye by yourself with your kit you put together. So you need to have some good safety glasses that wrap around, and you need to have several pairs, because these get scratched up, they get ruined. So you need to have several pairs of these, and they are cheap enough. You can go and get them several places for next to nothing. If you know somebody that works in a plant that hands them out, that's another way to acquire them. So safety glasses and face shields, I'm going to put those in the same boat. Anytime you're using a piece of equipment or a tool where something might fling up in your face, a face shield is really important, usually power tools. So putting those two right there. Next is going to be gloves for different things. Right now we get a little cut and it gets infected. It's a little annoying. You know, we can put Neosporin on it and take care of it for a while. But in a grid down situation, you get a cut, it could turn into a major health issue. It could become life-threatening. So gloves for what you're doing, when appropriate, is very important. You don't want to wear gloves when you're working around a drill press or a grinder, anything there. If your glove gets caught, it could rip your hand off. But gloves, like when you're handling wood or steel or any kind of material like that. Of course, welding gloves for when you're welding to keep from getting burns, or when you're using a cutting torch or anything like that. So gloves are extremely important. Also, we've got hearing protection, and that's something else that there won't be any way to treat hearing problems in any kind of major grid down situation. So this is a long-term thing. Take care of your ears. They're the only ones that you're going to get. And these are also items that in your get-home bag or your bug-out bag, you should definitely have a pair of gloves, ear protection, and safety glasses. Just moving around in some environments is dangerous. If you look at our troops deployed in combat zones, they all have on pair gloves. They all have ear pro. They all have eye pro. So just these are important things to have, and have extra. So if you haven't thought of this, stock up on some of this. This is one of those times where Harbor Freight, heaven help us all, comes in handy. They have inexpensive gloves. They have inexpensive safety glasses, ear protection. So get this stuff. Get a bunch of ear protection. Get several pairs of gloves. It's easier to get them now because it would just be too difficult to produce them later. And this, of course, isn't all of the personal protective equipment you need. If you're going to be welding, of course, you need a welding hood. You need appropriate cape. Same thing with using a cutting torch. You need the protective equipment to protect your eyes from the light, and your body from the sparks and the radiant heat. If you're using a chainsaw, of course, you need to have chainsaw chaps. You need to have eye protection, of course. You need your boots. You need to have the appropriate boots for what you're doing. If you're using a cutting torch or you're welding, you need to have a very slick boot that won't hold pieces of slag. If you're out dropping a bunch of timber or handling a lot of steel or something, you're going to want steel-toed boots, maybe even metatarsal boots. Sometimes you might need boots with a steel shank in them. So think about all these things, including your clothing, because the best medical emergency is the one you don't have because you took precautions. So definitely get your first aid kit up. There's a first aid kit in my shop. There's first aid kit in my home. There's one in each of my vehicles, and they're very thorough. But I don't want to open that thing unless I have to. So that's my thoughts for now. Y'all have a good one.